All right, so we're going to come up with this equation, but given only these 2 points. Meaning, if we were given these 2 points and we were asked, what is the equation of a line that goes through these 2 points? You would actually be able to come up with that equation. The first thing that you could do is you could come up with the slope using the algebraic formula for slope. So slope is y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. Or if you prefer, you can do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So you can do either of these, but let's use just one of these equations. So here we go. So this is our slope formula. Let's call this point 2 and the other one point 1. Again, you could have chosen this as point 1. It doesn't matter. Okay, so then we're going to put our x and y. These are our steps that we do. And then since this is point 1, these are our labels for 1. These are our labels for 2. Okay, so 2 is y2. 3 is x2. All right, so let's plug it in. Y equals 2/3 x is the ultimate equation we're going to come up with, but we actually are not supposed to know that yet, but we'll get there. So let's plug these in. So we've got y1 is 4, minus y2, which is 2, over x1, which is 6, minus x2, which is 3. All right. Now, just to make some more room, let's do our calculation. So that's 4 minus 2 over 6 minus 3, which is 2 over 3. So we know that our slope is 2/3. So we could write out y equals 2/3 x plus b. Y equals mx plus b. We know that our m now is 2/3, so we'll write y equals 2/3 x plus b. Now we just need to figure out what b is. If we had our graph, then we could just look at the graph to see where it went through the y-axis. And we saw that the line went through the y-axis at 0, 0, so our b was 0. The thing is, if we weren't given this graph, how could we come up with that? And so that's what we're going to learn now. Remember that we were given 2 points at the very beginning of this, and we had 3, 2 was a point on the line, and we had 6, 4 was a point on the line. Remember that if you're dealing with grape juice and blueberry juice, the 3 was the 3 ounces of grape juice mixing with 2 ounces of blueberry juice, or 6 ounces of grape juice mixing with 4 ounces of blueberry juice. Both of these points were points that were on the line. Both of these points represent mixtures of grape juice and blueberry juice that when mixed together create a balanced punch, all right? Or a balanced equation. So balanced punch, balanced equation, they mean the same thing in this case. Meaning we could stick in 3 for x and 2 for y, and it will balance this equation out. The thing is, we just don't know what b is at this point. So what we're going to have to do is substitute in either this point or this point. Because both of these points create balanced punch, we could choose either of these points and it doesn't matter. So let's choose the top one. So y equals 2/3 x plus b. I'm going to substitute in 3 for x. 3 for x, so here we go. 3 for x, 3 over 1 is 3. And then y is 2. All right? So let's see, we have 2 equals 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 1 is 3 plus b. And we've got 6 divided by 3 is 2. So we have 2 equals 2 plus b. We subtract 2 from both sides, and we get 0 equals b, or b equals 0. That's how we found the y-intercept of this relationship, even though we weren't given a graph to look at where the y-intercept was. We knew that the y-intercept would need to be something that helped us balance out the equation. Since we knew that this point would balance the equation, we plug this in to figure out what the b would need to be to end up ultimately helping us balance the final equation. And so we could have, and so now we know that b has to be 0, which is the exact equation that we had before. Now you're saying, but that was just lucky that you got 0. If you put in 6, 4, you wouldn't have gotten 0. That's not true. Since 6, 4 is on the line, if we put in 6 for x and 4 for y, we still would have gotten a b that equals 0. Look at this. 2 times 6 is 12. 12 divided by 3 is on what's there. Okay, so we have 6 times 2, 12. 3 times 1, 3. And do you see that 12 divided by 3 is 4? I subtract both sides with 4, and I'm left with 0 equals b. So since this balances the equation as well as this balancing the equation, I'll come up with the same b in the end. And that's how we come up with what our y-intercept is if we're not given a graph. If we're given 2 points, we can come up with the entire equation of a line, even though we aren't given the graph.